Life has always spoken to you in more than one language. The first language is easy to recognize. It is made of visible events. A door opens, a message arrives, a plan changes, someone says yes, someone says no, a journey begins, a season ends. These are the clear shapes of life, the things you can point to and name. The second language is quieter. It is made of timing. It speaks through the moment something reaches you. It speaks through the pause that keeps you from moving too soon. It speaks through a delay that gives your understanding time to catch up with your desire. It speaks through an ordinary encounter that feels unexpectedly useful. It speaks when one small thing arrives just as you have become ready to meet it differently. Most people become fluent in events. They learn to measure what happened, what did not happen, what changed, what stayed the same. They build stories from evidence they can see. Yet timing often remains unread, even though it has been present through every chapter. Tonight, you do not need to solve its meaning. You are only beginning to hear its rhythm. You are letting yourself consider that not every pause is empty, not every detour is punishment, and not every quiet stretch means that life has forgotten you. Some moments are not refusals. They are unfinished arrangements. Some spaces are not barren. They are resting between one condition and the next. This does not mean every delay is secretly perfect. It does not mean every disappointment must be decorated with a spiritual explanation. Some things hurt because they hurt. Some endings remain difficult. Some unanswered questions stay unanswered for a long time. You are not being asked to deny any of that. You are being invited to loosen one conclusion, that what has not happened yet can only mean that nothing good is moving. That conclusion may have become familiar because you have repeated it under pressure. It may have sounded practical. It may even have felt protective. If you expected less, you might be hurt less. If you rehearsed the worst, you might not be caught off guard. If you doubted the good before it arrived, disappointment might lose its power. The mind can make a home out of these preparations. It can wake in the morning and immediately scan the day for proof that support is missing. It can move from screen to screen, looking for a sign that something has shifted. It can read silence as rejection. It can read slowness as failure. It can take one unfinished situation and turn it into a prediction about everything. You may know the feeling of checking again. You check the message, you check the account, you check the calendar. You check whether someone has replied, whether an answer has appeared, whether a path has changed. You tell yourself you are only gathering information, yet beneath the checking, there may be a small, tired question. Is anything working in my favor? When the answer does not come quickly, the body tightens around the uncertainty. The jaw holds what the heart cannot settle. The shoulders rise as if they could carry tomorrow into place. The breath becomes shallow, not because you chose fear, but because the nervous system learned to prepare for impact. The mind moves ahead, arranging a response to a disappointment that has not happened. This preparation can feel like control. It can feel more responsible to expect trouble than to remain open. It can feel safer to name every reason a plan might fail. It can feel wise to reduce your hope before the world has a chance to touch it. And because this habit often speaks in a serious voice, you may mistake it for truth. But worry is not always foresight. Sometimes it is memory trying to become prophecy. A past letdown enters the present and says, "This is how it goes." A former rejection stands beside a new possibility and says, "Do not be fooled." A season of doing everything alone looks at an offered hand and says, "It will disappear." The mind does not do this because it is against you. It does this because repetition feels safer than surprise. You learned to recognize patterns for a reason. You learned which tones came before conflict. You learned which promises were often broken. You learned when enthusiasm was followed by absence. You learned how quickly certainty could change. These lessons were not invented. They were shaped by real moments, and some of those moments ask too much of you. So the part of you that closes early deserves respect. It is not weak. It is not negative by nature. It is not ruining your path. It is a watchful part that once believed its vigilance could keep your heart from being injured again. Tonight, that part does not need to be dismissed. It only needs a new role. It does not have to stand at every doorway and predict who will leave. It does not have to turn every pause into a warning. It does not have to guard you by refusing all hope. It can remain wise without remaining tense. It can protect your boundaries without closing your future. There is a difference between discernment and dread. Discernment sees what is present. Dread fills the unseen space with pain. Discernment can say, "I need more information." Dread says, "The answer will be bad." Discernment can wait, act, ask, and choose. Dread tries to survive by deciding the ending before the middle has unfolded. You may have spent many years believing that pessimism kept you prepared. Yet preparation and expectation are not the same thing. You can prepare responsibly and still leave room for a helpful turn. You can make a backup plan and still believe the first plan has a chance. You can protect your time, money, energy, and health without treating hope as a threat. You can look directly at facts without making fear the only interpreter in the room. This is where the second language begins to matter. Events tell you what has appeared. Timing asks what is becoming possible now that could not have been held before. An event may look small, while its timing makes it meaningful. A conversation you could not have received a year ago may reach you after one honest change. An idea that once felt impossible may return when your life has made room for it. A person may say one ordinary sentence at the exact point when you are able to hear it without defending against it. None of this requires superstition. You do not need to assign a message to every number, every song, every delay, every passing thought. You do not need to hunt for symbols until the day becomes a puzzle. That kind of searching can become another form of tension, another way of demanding proof before you let yourself feel supported. The language of timing is not a code you must crack. It is a relationship with pace. It is the growing ability to say, "I do not understand this moment yet, and I do not need to call it hopeless." That sentence creates space. It does not promise that every wish will be fulfilled. It does not guarantee that the outcome you prefer will arrive in the form you imagined. It does not remove the need for action. It does not replace planning, honest conversations, skilled care, legal guidance, financial wisdom, medical support, or any other practical step your life may require. These practices can support calm, openness, and a less fearful relationship with uncertainty. They are not magic guarantees, and they are not a substitute for real action or qualified professional support when life feels heavy. You are allowed to use both inner steadiness and outer help. You are allowed to pray and make the call. You are allowed to trust and read the contract. You are allowed to rest and set the boundary. You are allowed to hope and ask the hard question. You are allowed to feel encouraged and still verify what needs to be verified. A grounded inner life does not ask you to abandon reality. It helps you meet reality without surrendering your entire future to one painful interpretation. Maybe you have been doing the opposite. Maybe you have been waiting for reality to prove itself completely before you offer it. One breath of trust. You have been saying, "Show me the result, and then I will soften. Show me the guarantee, and then I will stop bracing. Show me that I cannot lose, and then I will believe something kind may happen." It makes sense. Certainty looks like safety when uncertainty has been costly. Yet life rarely offers complete proof in advance. Most beginnings arrive without a certificate. Most meaningful choices contain an unseen distance. Most relationships, opportunities, recoveries, and changes ask for a measured willingness before the whole path is visible. Not blind faith, not forced positivity, not a smile placed over grief. A measured willingness, enough openness to take the next honest step, enough steadiness to let new evidence be new, enough humility to admit that an old pattern does not have the authority to decide every future moment. You do not have to become endlessly optimistic. You do not have to praise every obstacle. You do not have to pretend that pain was necessary or that loss was arranged for your benefit. You only have to stop making disappointment the sole language you speak fluently. There are other words available to you. Possibility, help, repair, kindness, timing. A door you have not seen, a solution still forming outside your view, a person who keeps their word, a choice that becomes clearer after rest, a path that changes because you finally honor what you know. These are not promises about a specific result. They are realities that exist in the human world. Help does appear. People do show up. Plans do improve. Insight does come later. The body does settle. Skills do grow. Communities do respond. New information does change decisions. A difficult chapter can contain more than the mind predicted at its darkest hour. Your mind may agree with these statements in theory and resist them in practice. It may say, "Yes, good things happen, but not for me." That sentence can sound final, yet it is usually built from selected evidence. The mind gathers the moments when you were unsupported and places them in bright light. It stores the times help arrived late, imperfectly, or from an unexpected direction in a dimmer room. It remembers the abandoned promise more quickly than the quiet person who stayed. This is not a moral failure. The brain naturally gives weight to danger. Your own history may have strengthened that tendency. When something painful happened more than once, expecting repetition could feel intelligent. Over time, the expectation became automatic. It no longer needed a fresh reason. It rose before the facts. Automatic does not mean permanent. A practiced expectation can be met with another practice. Not by arguing with yourself all night, not by forcing the mind to chant words it cannot believe, not by demanding that fear vanish before you deserve peace. A new practice can begin with a smaller sentence. I am willing to leave a little room for a better development. A little room is enough for tonight. You do not need a wide open field of certainty. You do not need to feel radiant. You do not need to erase the part of you that doubts. You are only creating a narrow opening in the old conclusion. Through that opening, something quieter can enter. The possibility that silence is not always rejection. The possibility that delay is not always defeat. The possibility that you can be cared for in ways you do not control. The possibility that your own future actions may become part of the help you are waiting for. The possibility that good does not always announce itself loudly when it begins. The mind that expects disappointment watches for collapse. The mind learning a different expectation watches for movement. Movement can be modest. A clearer thought after sleep. A calmer response than the one you would have given before. The courage to ask someone directly instead of guessing. The strength to leave what repeatedly harms you. The patience to finish a task whose result has not appeared. The willingness to accept support without apologizing for needing it. A fresh option that becomes visible only after you stop staring at the closed one. These changes matter because they alter what you can recognize and what you can do. They do not make you responsible for everything that happens. They do not suggest that difficult circumstances are caused by incorrect thinking. They simply return some choice to the place where fear had claimed the whole room. Your inner expectation shapes attention. Attention shapes what you register. What you register can shape the next step you take. That is grounded enough to trust. You do not need to claim that your thoughts command every event. They do not. Other people have choices. Systems have power. Bodies have limits. Circumstances can be unfair. Chance exists. Timing is not always kind. Still, within the part that belongs to you, expectation has influence. It influences whether you ask. It influences whether you apply. It influences whether you speak. It influences whether you wait wisely or wait passively. It influences whether you accept a sincere offer or push it away because it arrived in a form you did not predict. It influences whether you interpret one setback as information or as a lifelong sentence. This is not about blaming yourself for what has gone wrong. It is about releasing yourself from the belief that the past has already written every next page. You may have repeated certain phrases for years without calling them affirmations. Nothing ever works out. I always have to do everything myself. People leave. There is never enough time. Something will go wrong. I should not get excited. It is safer not to hope. These sentences may have moved through you so often that they began to feel like observations rather than instructions. Each one told the body how to stand. Each one told attention what to find. Each one narrowed the range of outcomes you felt prepared to meet. You do not need to fight them. You can hear hem as old alarms. An alarm can be loud without being accurate. An alarm can be sincere without being current. An alarm can thank the past for its lesson and still stop ringing through the night. The old sentence may rise again tomorrow. That does not mean tonight failed. Change is not proven by never hearing the old voice. It is proven by no longer handing that voice every decision. You can answer it with steadiness. You can say, I know why you expect that. You can say, I understand what you are trying to prevent. You can say, we will look at the facts. You can say, we will take wise action. You can say, we will not decide the ending from fear alone. This is how trust becomes believable. It is not a dramatic leap over everything you know. It is a new way of holding what you know. It keeps the wisdom and releases the sentence. It remembers the lesson and stops repeating the wound as destiny. There may be one situation in your life that has become the center of this pattern. One unanswered message, one financial concern, one decision, one relationship, one health question, one piece of work that has not found its place. One hope you have carried so long that you are tired of touching it. You do not need to name it aloud. Let it rest at the edge of your awareness without pulling it closer and without pushing it away. You are not solving it in this moment. You are changing the posture from which you will meet it. A clenched posture says, this must happen exactly as I demand, or I am not safe. A defeated posture says, nothing I do will matter. An open posture says, I will take the next wise step, and I will leave room for help, clarity, and a result I cannot yet see. That posture has strength in it. It does not collapse into wishful thinking. It does not remain in harmful situations. It does not wait forever for people to change. It does not confuse endurance with devotion. It does not ask you to accept less than respect. Openness is not the absence of boundaries. Sometimes the good outcome is the courage to close a door. Sometimes support arrives as accurate information you did not want but needed. Sometimes meaningful timing is the moment you finally stop postponing a necessary choice. Sometimes the favorable turn begins with a clear no. Sometimes the answer is not rescue from outside, but the return of your own voice. This is why expectation must stay spacious. If you grip one exact form, you may overlook the help that comes as redirection. If you insist that one person must be the source, you may miss the wider circle. If you decide that only one timeline counts as success, you may punish yourself through a season that is still developing. Spacious expectation says, I know what I value, and I am willing to be guided by reality. It holds desire with dignity. It gives effort a place. It gives timing a place. It gives grief a place. It gives surprise a place. It does not demand that every place become the same thing. Your desire can remain real without becoming a threat against your peace. You can care deeply and still breathe. You can work faithfully and still sleep. You can move toward what matters and still admit that you do not control every meeting point. Tonight, the second language asks for no performance from you. It does not require you to interpret the whole week. It does not ask you to prove that you are positive enough. It does not measure your worth by how quickly you relax. It asks for one honest shift. Do not call the unfinished story hopeless. That is all. Let the unfinished remain unfinished. Let the unknown remain unknown. Let facts be facts without turning them into final prophecies. Let your next step be chosen by wisdom rather than rehearsed disappointment. You can be cautious without being closed. You can be tired without being defeated. You can be uncertain without being abandoned. You can be waiting without being forgotten. Even now, there are parts of your life moving beyond your direct view. People are making decisions. Information is traveling. Circumstances are changing. Your own understanding is ripening. None of this guarantees a preferred result, but it does mean that the present moment is not the whole story. The mind often treats what it cannot see as if nothing exists there. Yet much of life develops out of sight. A conversation is prepared before it reaches you. A skill strengthens before confidence names it. A boundary becomes possible before you speak it. A decision clarifies beneath the surface before you can explain it. A new chapter gathers its first conditions before it has a title. You have lived through this before. There were things you understood only afterward. There were moments that seemed disconnected until time placed them beside each other. There were delays that remained frustrating, yet changed what you were ready to choose. There were people you could not have recognized as helpful until you had outgrown your old definition of help. You do not need to romanticize those moments. You only need to remember that your first interpretation was not always the final truth. That memory can become a quiet kind of mercy. It can soften the demand to know everything now. It can loosen the habit of reading every pause as a closed gate. It can help the body come down from the future and return to this room, this breath, this night. You are here. The question is still unfinished, and you are still here. There is more strength in that fact than fear usually admits. You have met uncertainty before. You have learned, adjusted, asked, rested, rebuilt, changed direction, and begun again. Not perfectly, not without pain, but enough to be present now. The part of you that expects the worst may be tired from standing guard. You do not have to remove it from the doorway. You can offer it a seat. You can say, "We are not ignoring danger. We are no longer inventing danger where there is only space." We are not refusing practical action. We are refusing to suffer the same imagined ending every hour before anything has been decided. We are not making promises about tomorrow. We are making room to meet tomorrow as it comes. That is a trustworthy beginning. A mind can learn this beginning through repetition, not pressure. It can learn that hope does not erase intelligence. It can learn that calm does not invite disaster. It can learn that support does not make you weak. It can learn that a good turn does not have to be earned through exhaustion. For now, you are not asking it to believe everything will go your way. You are teaching it something more honest. Life contains more possibilities than fear can predict. The sentence can remain beside you without argument. A wider possibility can remain beside you without argument. You do not have to feel convinced. You only have to let the words exist. Soon, the image that will carry this practice will come into view. A place where the season appears too severe for softness, where the ground looks closed, where nothing seems ready to rise. For now, remain with the language beneath the visible event. A pause can hold movement. A delay can contain preparation. An ending can uncover a boundary. A question can mature into a wiser one. A closed path can turn your attention toward the opening that has not yet been named. You are learning to listen without inventing signs. You are learning to wait without abandoning action. You are learning to hope without demanding a deadline. You are learning to protect yourself without refusing every possibility of care. This is not a sudden transformation. It is the first loosening. It is the first unclenched breath around a future that has not yet declared itself. The day does not need your final verdict tonight. The unanswered parts of your life can remain outside the courtroom of the mind. No sentence needs to be passed. No ending needs to be rehearsed. No good possibility needs to be dismissed before it has had the chance to arrive in its own clear form. You can rest beside the unknown without calling it your enemy. And as the night becomes quieter, the second language becomes easier to hear, not as a prediction, not as a promise, but as a steady reminder that timing is also part of the story. There is no shame in having learned caution. Caution may have helped you survive seasons when trust was not rewarded. It may have kept you attentive when circumstances were unstable. It may have taught you to ask better questions, to move carefully, and to recognize what did not feel right. The difficulty begins only when caution becomes the only voice permitted to speak. Then every new moment is judged by an old one. Every offer is compared with the offer that disappeared. Every possibility is questioned by the memory of what failed. Every quiet interval is interpreted through the pain of having waited before. The mind may see all this realism, yet realism does not require you to erase every favorable possibility. Realism can include risk and opportunity. It can hold uncertainty without filling the whole space with one conclusion. It can acknowledge that some people disappoint and some people remain dependable. It can recognize that some plans fail and some plans change into something useful. Fear reduces the field. Wisdom looks more widely. Wisdom does not say that everything will work out exactly as you wish. It says that you deserve to respond to what is actually happening rather than to every painful thing that might happen. This difference can feel small, but it changes the way you live inside a day. When fear is leading, the body reacts to possibilities as though they are facts. A thought about tomorrow becomes a pressure in the chest tonight. A concern that deserves 10 minutes of practical attention takes over 10 hours of inner space. One uncertainty becomes the background of every conversation, every meal, every attempt to rest. The mind returns to it because it believes repetition will produce control. It goes over the same details. It studies the same silence. It imagines another version of the same ending. It prepares responses to conversations that have not occurred. It tries to stand in several future moments at once. This effort is exhausting because the future does not become more obedient when it is rehearsed. You may become more tired, but not more informed. You may become more guarded, but not more secure. You may become more certain that something is wrong, even though no new evidence has appeared. Tonight, you are not criticizing this process. You are seeing it clearly. The mind has been trying to create safety through prediction. It has believed that if it can name the pain first, the pain will have less power. It has believed that disappointment is easier when expected. It has believed that hope leaves you exposed. There may have been moments when this seemed true. You may have lowered your expectations and felt less surprised when something fell apart. You may have kept your distance and avoided being drawn into another confusing situation. You may have assumed you would have to manage alone and became highly capable because of it. Your strength is real. Your ability to adapt is real. Your discernment is real. But your exhaustion is real too. A protection that never rests eventually begins to feel like another form of confinement. It may keep some pain outside, but it can also keep comfort, cooperation, and ease from entering fully. It can make sincere care difficult to accept. It can turn kindness into a question. It can make a favorable change feel suspicious simply because it is unfamiliar. You are not being asked to throw your boundaries away. You are being asked to recognize that a boundary and a wall are not always the same. A boundary can open and close according to wisdom. A wall assumes that nothing safe can come near. A boundary listens. A wall decides in advance. A boundary helps you remain present. A wall keeps you in conversation with the past. You can keep the part of your caution that serves you. You can keep your ability to verify. You can keep your right to move slowly. You can keep your standards. You can keep your clear no. You can keep your willingness to leave when respect is repeatedly absent. And you can release the belief that every unknown person, opportunity, or season must first be treated as a threat. You are allowed to gather evidence without gathering dread. You are allowed to wait for clarity without predicting disaster. You are allowed to protect your well-being without refusing the possibility that something supportive may be developing. This is where expectancy becomes different from fantasy. Fantasy ignores conditions. Expectancy remains awake to them. Fantasy demands a preferred ending. Expectancy leaves room for a constructive development. Fantasy can become impatient with reality. Expectancy works with reality. It takes the call that needs to be made. It prepares the application. It asks for help. It studies the facts. It keeps an appointment. It rests when the body needs rest. It changes direction when continuing would cause harm. Expectation without action can become avoidance. Action without inner steadiness can become strain. The practice is to let them meet. You move where movement belongs to you. You release what cannot be forced. You remain open to information, support, and timing beyond your current understanding. This is not passive. It may be one of the most active forms of trust because it asks you to participate without pretending you control the entire result. The old pattern may resist this. It may say that if you stop worrying, you will become careless. It may say that if you soften, something will catch you unprepared. It may say that tension is the reason you have managed to survive. You can answer with respect. Tension may have accompanied your survival, but it was not the source of all your wisdom. Your intelligence helped you. Your ability to learn helped you. Your courage helped you. Your practical choices helped you. Other people may have helped you even if their help was imperfect. Rest may have helped you make a clearer decision. Time may have helped you recognize what pressure concealed. You do not have to keep every old reaction in order to keep what you learned. The lesson can remain after the alarm becomes quieter. You can remember that a promise was broken without assuming all promises will break. You can remember that money was uncertain without believing stability is impossible. You can remember that a relationship ended without deciding that closeness always leads to loss. You can remember that your effort was overlooked without concluding that meaningful recognition can never arrive. The past can be information without becoming instruction. This matters because expectation is often built from repeated instructions. Expect less. Do not trust. Prepare to lose. Do not relax. Do not depend on anyone. Do not celebrate too soon. Do not believe until there is no possibility of disappointment. These rules may have sounded wise because they were shaped in pain, yet they create an impossible standard. There is almost never a point when disappointment becomes completely impossible. If you wait for total certainty before opening to good, the mind may keep postponing openness forever. A healthier expectation does not require certainty. It requires enough inner room to recognize what is present. You might call this readiness. Readiness is not excitement. It is not constant confidence. It is not a bright mood maintained through force. Readiness is the capacity to meet a useful development without pushing it away simply because you did not predict it. It is the ability to say yes when yes is wise. It is the ability to welcome guidance without feeling diminished. It is the willingness to let new facts revise an old conclusion. It is the courage to admit that something may go better than your fear expects. Readiness has humility in it. It does not claim to know the whole design. It says, I know what I have experienced, and I remain willing to learn what is true now. That sentence protects you from two extremes. It protects you from naivete because you remain attentive to evidence. It protects you from hopelessness because you remain open to change. You do not need to stand at either edge. You can live in the honest middle. Here, you can acknowledge the difficulty and still look for the next workable choice. Here, you can admit that you are tired and still accept assistance. Here, you can grieve what did not happen and still leave space for what may happen differently. Here, you can respect timing without using it as an excuse to avoid necessary action. This honest middle is part of what true alignment means. This widening is part of what true alignment means. Alignment is not arranging the world so nothing uncomfortable occurs. It is not achieving a state where every thought is positive. It is not becoming so spiritually polished that you never feel uncertainty. Alignment is the meeting of readiness, openness, and timing. Readiness says, I am willing to meet what supports my well-being. Openness says, I will not insist that help must arrive in only one form. Timing says, not everything can be forced into the hour I prefer. These three qualities do not make a guarantee. They create a healthier way to participate. You prepare what can be prepared. You remain responsive. You let reality show you what it is becoming. Expectation without a deadline is central to this. A deadline may belong to an action. An application must be submitted. A payment must be made. A conversation may need to happen by a certain date. Practical life often requires as clear timing. But the heart can create deadlines for things that cannot be commanded. By this age I should have arrived. By this month they should understand. By this week the answer should come. By now I should feel different. When the private deadline passes, the mind may treat the delay as a verdict. It may say that you failed. It may say that life is against you. It may say the possibility has ended. Sometimes a deadline truly does close one option, and that deserves an honest response. Yet even then, The end of one option is not proof that all constructive movement has ended. It may require grief, adjustment, and a new plan. It may require assistance. It may require letting go of a form you deeply wanted. None of this is easy. Still, the whole future is larger than one date. Expectation without a deadline does not mean waiting endlessly in a harmful or stagnant situation. It means you stop demanding that your worth be proven by a particular event arriving on a particular schedule. Your worth is not waiting for approval. Your humanity is not suspended until an answer appears. Your life is not empty because one desire remains unfulfilled. You can honor the desire and continue living. You can take action and continue breathing. You can care and continue resting. You can remain interested in a good outcome without making your peace dependent on immediate proof. This gives timing room without giving your power away. Timing is not a ruler standing above you. It is the meeting of many conditions. Your readiness is one condition. Other people's choices may be another. Resources may be another. Information may be another. Health, safety, location, opportunity, and circumstance may all influence what becomes possible and when. Some of these conditions belong to you, some do not. Alignment does not confuse the two. It helps you act where your action matters and release the fantasy that enough worry can control what belongs to someone else. That release may feel unfamiliar. You may have used worry as a form of invisible labor. You may have believed that thinking constantly about a situation meant you were doing something for it. You may have felt guilty whenever your attention moved elsewhere, as though the desired result required continuous mental supervision. But a situation does not become more worthy because you suffer beside it every hour. Your care is real, even when you rest. Your intention remains real when you laugh. Your responsibility remains real when you pause. You are not abandoning what matters by giving the body a period of peace. In fact, rest can return you to wise action. It can help you separate urgency from importance. It can help you hear your own values beneath the noise. It can help you recognize when you are trying to force one answer because the unknown feels unbearable. The unknown does not become easy simply because you understand this, but it may become less persona. The delay is not always a judgment of your worth. A closed path is not always evidence that you are unworthy of good. A quiet season is not always a punishment. There may be no hidden moral meaning at all. Sometimes conditions are incomplete. Sometimes other people are uncertain. Sometimes systems move slowly. Sometimes the next step has not become visible. Sometimes you need more rest, knowledge, support, or distance before you can recognize what serves you. This grounded view protects you from harsh spiritual conclusions. You do not need to accuse yourself of being blocked. You do not need to believe that every difficulty reflects a failure of faith. You do not need to monitor every thought, as though one moment of fear could destroy what is meant for you. Your mind is allowed to be human. It can doubt and still learn. It can feel tired and still recover. It can remember pain and still encounter something different. It can have an anxious day without turning that day into a lifelong pattern. The practice is not perfection. It is return. You return to the facts. You return to your body. You return to the next wise action. You return to the possibility that the present is not required to repeat the past. Each return strengthens a different pathway. It teaches the mind that you can lose balance without losing yourself. It teaches the body that uncertainty can be met without remaining clenched through every hour. It teaches the heart that hope can be held with open hands rather than used as a demand. Open hands do not mean weak hands. They can work, they can protect, they can carry, they can release. They do not have to grip one outcome until every other part of life becomes painful. This is the quality you are cultivating now, a clear desire, a grounded next step, a willingness to meet support, a refusal to turn fear into prophecy, a respect for timing that does not become passivity, a trust that remains connected to reality. You may not feel all of this yet. Feeling often follows practice. The body may need repetition before it recognizes openness as safe. The mind may need many ordinary examples before it stops expecting the old result first. You may have to say the smaller sentence many times. I am willing to leave room for a better development. This sentence does not ask too much. It does not declare that a specific result is certain. It does not deny what is difficult. It creates one available space in the mind. Within that space, you can breathe before reacting. Within that space, you can look again. Within that space, you can ask whether your conclusion comes from current evidence or remembered pain. Within that space, you can choose not to send the message written from panic. Within that space, you can wait until morning. Within that space, you can reach for skilled support. Within that space, you can recognize an option that fear had dismissed. Smile, inner space can change an outer decision. And one changed decision can alter the direction of a week. The language of timing often becomes visible only after pressure decreases. When you stop demanding an immediate meaning, you can see the sequence more clearly. You can recognize that one pause gave you time to learn. You can see that one ending exposed a truth you had been avoiding. You can understand that one delay prevented a rushed agreement. You can recognize that a quiet interval helped your standards become stronger. Again, not every delay is beneficial. Not every loss conceals a gift. You do not need to force gratitude where grief is still honest. The point is not that every painful thing was arranged perfectly. The point is that pain does not possess the right to define everything that follows. You remain capable of movement after disappointment. You remain capable of connection after loss. You remain capable of learning after an error. You remain capable of building stability after uncertainty. You remain capable of discovering that support can come through several sources rather than one ideal source. That capability is part of your readiness. It may be quiet. It may not feel like confidence. It may feel like getting up and trying one careful step again. That is enough. Far above the lower ground, where the air becomes thinner and the season holds its cold for a long time, there is a place that appears unwilling to support softness. The ground is hard. The stone carries the memory of winter. Snow remains in the shaded spaces after warmer places have already changed. Nothing there seems hurried. The whole landscape lives by a slower calendar. From below, it may appear empty. The surface offers no easy promise. There are no wide fields opening at once. No generous soil invites quick growth. The conditions look narrow, severe, and almost closed. Yet emptiness is not the whole truth of that place. Beneath the last crust of snow, water begins to move. Not loudly, not all at once. A small release travels through the frozen edge. Moisture reaches a hidden seam. Light rests longer against the stone. The night remains cold, but the day has begun to hold a little more warmth. The change is not dramatic enough to be called spring by someone watching from a distance. Still, the conditions are no longer exactly what they were. This is how timing often speaks. Not through a sudden announcement, through conditions quietly becoming sufficient. 1 degree changes, 1 layer loosens, 1 narrow channel opens. Something that could not move begins to move. The visible landscape may still look unchanged. Snow is still present. Stone is still stone. The wind is still sharp. A hurried observer might decide that nothing is happening, but the hidden conditions have begun to turn. Above the snow line, life cannot rely on ease. It cannot assume long warmth. It cannot waste its strength responding to every brief change. It waits through repeated cold. It remains close to the ground. It uses what is available. Then, in the week when the ice finally releases its hold, 1 bloom opens. It does not argue with the stone. It does not demand a different mountain. It does not mistake the long winter for a permanent verdict. It responds when the conditions become possible. This single flower is not proof that difficulty does not exist. The cold is real. The height is real. The thin soil is real. The short season is real. Yet another truth stands beside them. Life has been preparing beneath the appearance of stillness. The bloom does not arrive because the place became easy. It arrives because timing and readiness finally meet. You may feel that parts of your own life have existed above the snow line. You have looked at them and thought, nothing can grow here. The history is too difficult. The resources are too limited. The wait has been too long. The conditions are not what I wanted. You may have mistaken harsh conditions for a final conclusion. Yet your life is not required to become easy before something meaningful can begin. A useful change may begin in a narrow space. Support may begin with 1 reliable person. Financial steadiness may begin with one informed decision. Emotional safety may begin with one boundary kept. A new direction may begin with one truth admitted. Confidence may begin with one action completed while uncertainty remains. The bloom does not need the entire mountain to soften. It needs one viable place. You do not need every part of your life to be resolved before one part begins to open. You do not need universal approval before you honor what you know. You do not need perfect confidence before taking a practical step. You do not need complete proof that the future will be kind before letting the body rest tonight. One viable place is enough for a beginning. That place may be your willingness to ask. It may be your willingness to stop chasing one unavailable source of care. It may be your willingness to learn something new. It may be your willingness to believe that a different response can come from you, even if the outer situation has not changed. The alpine flower does not open from impatience. It opens from responsiveness. It has no argument with the pace of thaw. It does not call itself forgotten in the middle of winter. It does not spend its hidden season comparing its height with warmer ground. Its readiness remains close to what is true. This is the lesson you are carrying inward. You can remain responsive without becoming restless. You can prepare without forcing. You can keep your desire alive without exposing it to constant mental pressure. You can trust a slow change without pretending that nothing hurts. The stone does not become a garden in a single moment. One bloom begins the evidence. One bloom says that the conditions have shifted enough for life to answer. Your own evidence may also begin quietly. A calmer thought, a better question, a decision made without panic, a night of deeper rest, a sincere offer accepted, a boundary spoken clearly, a possibility considered without immediately listing every reason it will fail. These may appear too small to the part of you waiting for a dramatic sign. But small evidence is still evidence. The mind that has expected disappointment may need small evidence most of all. It needs experiences it can believe. It needs change close enough to touch. It needs moments that do not require exaggerated claims. You are giving it that kind of evidence. You are not telling it that the entire mountain will bloom tomorrow. You are showing it one place where the ice has begun to release. You are not promising that every outcome will match your desire. You are teaching yourself to recognize when conditions have changed. You are not forcing hope. You are making hope more credible. The flower above the snow line does not deny winter. It reveals that winter was not the only season possible. Your disappointment may be part of your history. It is not the only future available. Your caution may remain part of your wisdom. It is not the only inner posture available. Your unanswered question may still be present. It is not the only thing present. Readiness is present. Choice is present. Support may be present in a form you have not yet valued. Timing is present, not as a guarantee, but as an active condition in every unfolding life. Let that understanding rest near you. Nothing must be forced tonight. The hidden seam can soften at its own truthful pace. The last snow can release without being pulled apart. The bloom can remain closed until opening is wise, and you can remain worthy of good while the conditions are still becoming clear. The flower above the snow line does not begin with the bloom. It begins with endurance hidden from view. Long before color appears against the stone, there is a small life held close beneath the surface. It does not resemble the final opening. It does not yet offer evidence that anyone passing by would recognize. It is only a quiet readiness protected inside a difficult place. The wind moves over it. Cold settles again. The light shortens. The ground closes. Nothing visible announces that the future is still being prepared. This hidden season matters because the mind often dismisses what it cannot measure. It wants proof in a form that can be seen immediately. It looks for the open flower and overlooks the strength that existed before the petals appeared. You may be doing the same thing with yourself. You may look at one area of your life and decide that no progress has been made because the result is not visible. You may overlook the patience you have developed. He questions you now ask, the choices you no longer accept, and the courage that has been gathering beneath your uncertainty. You may think nothing has changed because the outer scene still resembles the old one. Yet you are not standing in it as the same person. You understand more. You recognize more quickly what drains you. You recover your balance sooner. You hear your own no before it becomes resentment. You know which promises require evidence. You know that peace cannot be built by abandoning yourself. These changes may not look like the final bloom, but they belong to its beginning. The root does not apologize because it is not yet a flower. It does not call its hidden work a failure. It receives what little warmth reaches it. It holds close to the narrow place where life remains possible. It builds strength according to the conditions that are present, not according to the conditions it wishes had been given. There is dignity in that response. You can honor the life you have instead of postponing your respect until everything improves. You can work with the resources that are here. You can acknowledge what is missing. You can seek what is needed. You can protect what is still tender. You can stop demanding visible proof from a part of you that is still becoming strong enough to rise. Growth in a harsh place is often compact. It does not spread carelessly. It does not spend its energy trying to resemble life in a warmer valley. It remains low, conserving what matters. Its strength may look modest from a distance, yet that strength has been shaped precisely for where it lives. You have also developed strengths that may not appear dramatic. You learn to keep moving through uncertain days. You learn to create structure when none was offered. You learn to listen beneath what people said. You learn to begin again without an audience. You learn to hold responsibility when praise was absent. You learn to search for one workable step inside a situation that felt too large. Some of these strengths were formed through hardship, and you are not required to be grateful for the hardship itself. Pain does not need to be praised in order for your strength to be respected. The flower does not praise the cold. It responds to the truth of its environment. You can do the same. You can say that something was unfair. You can say that it hurt. You can say that you deserved greater care. You can say that you are still carrying effects that need time, support, and wise attention. And you can also say that the experience did not remove your capacity for another future. Both truths can remain. The stone can be hard. The bloom can still open. This is not contradiction. It is the fullness of reality. The mind trained by disappointment often thinks in opposites. Either the situation was painful or you are strong. Either you remain cautious or you become open. Either you take action or you trust. Either you accept reality or you hope. Life is usually wider than these divisions. You can name pain and recognize strength. You can remain discerning and meet a new possibility. You can act with care and release what does not belong to your control. You can see the current facts and refuse to make them permanent before time has finished speaking. The alpine flower lives inside this wider truth. It does not deny the mountain. It does not require the mountain to become something else. Its opening is not a rejection of difficulty. It is a response to one precise moment when enough has changed. Enough light, enough water, enough warmth held in the stone, enough release in the ice. The conditions do not have to become generous. They only have to become sufficient. This idea can change the way you look at progress. You may have been waiting for perfect conditions because imperfect conditions once overwhelmed you. You may have decided that you must feel completely ready before beginning. You may have believed that confidence must come first, that certainty must come first, that every question must be answered before you move. But readiness does not always feel complete. Often it feels like one part of you is willing while another part remains afraid. It feels like taking one step with a shaking hand. It feels like making a decision without the comfort of absolute proof. It feels like speaking clearly while still wishing you did not have to. It feels like accepting help before you have solved your discomfort about needing it. Sufficient readiness is different from perfect readiness. Perfect readiness is often a demand made by fear. It says, "Do not move until nothing can go wrong." Sufficient readiness says, "I know enough to take the next wise step." This is how new outcomes begin. Not with total mastery, with enough truth, enough support, enough self-respect, enough willingness, enough room for a response that has not happened before. The snow line teaches patience without passivity. The flower does not bloom in the deepest cold, but neither does it refuse the first true release. It does not sleep through the moment that belongs to it. It remains responsive to change. You can rest without becoming unavailable to your own life. You can stop forcing without stopping participation. You can release the demand for immediate proof and still remain attentive to the next clear opening. This balance may be new. You may know how to push. You may know how to withdraw. The space between them may feel less familiar. That space is not empty. It is where listening becomes possible. It is where you ask, what is actually needed now? Not what fear demands for the whole future. Not what another person expects you to sacrifice. Not what the old version of you believed was the only path. What is needed now? One message. 1 hour of focused work. 1 night of sleep. 1 honest answer. 1 boundary. 1 appointment. 1 request. 1 pause. See before agreeing. The next step often has a smaller shape than the mind expects. Fear wants the whole map because uncertainty feels dangerous. Wisdom looks for the next stable place to set your foot. Above the snow line, no living thing wastes strength, demanding the entire season at once. It responds to the hour it has. You can meet your life in the same way. You do not need to solve the year tonight. You do not need to know how every relationship will unfold. You do not need to decide what one delay means for the whole future. You do not need to turn one concern into a complete identity. This hour is enough to meet. The mind may still reach forward. It may still ask for guarantees. When it does, bring it back to the small hidden place beneath the snow. There, life is not making guarantees. It is preparing. Preparation is quieter than prediction. Prediction tries to decide what will happen. Preparation strengthens your ability to respond. You cannot control every condition, but you can tend the part that is yours. You can become clearer about what you value. You can make your environment safer where possible. You can seek informed guidance. You can complete the work that supports your direction. You can become more willing to recognize support when it arrives. This last part can be harder than it sounds. When someone has carried too much alone, help may feel unfamiliar enough to create tension. An offer may be sincere, yet the body may prepare for a cost that has not been named. Kindness may be received with suspicion. Rest may trigger guilt. Cooperation may feel like the beginning of dependence. These responses deserve patience. You do not have to accept every offer. You do not have to trust immediately. You do not have to place your safety in unproven hands. You can open slowly. You can ask questions. You can keep your boundaries while testing whether support is reliable. You can let care prove itself over time. Openness is not an unguarded door. It is a door you are capable of opening with awareness. The flower does not open because every condition is safe forever. It opens because the present conditions support one honest movement. You can also choose one honest movement without making a lifelong promise. You can accept one conversation, You can try one approach. You can ask for one piece of assistance. You can take one step and assess what follows. This is how trust can be rebuilt without violating your own wisdom. Trust does not need to arrive as a sudden feeling. It can develop as a sequence of observed realities. The person follows through. The information proves accurate. The boundary is respected. The decision brings greater steadiness. The action creates a useful result. Each experience becomes a little warmth held in the stone. The mind learns that support can be real. It also learns that you are capable of responding when support is not enough. This is important. Expecting good does not require you to believe that nothing difficult will happen. It includes trust in your ability to meet difficulty with greater resources, clearer boundaries, and wiser support than before. Good outcomes are not limited to getting everything you first wanted. A good outcome may be greater truth. It may be protection from a poor agreement. It may be the end of confusion. It may be a stronger standard. It may be the recovery of time that was being spent on someone unwilling to meet you honestly. It may be the courage to begin somewhere else. The mind can learn to expect constructive movement rather than one rigid form. This leaves you more available to reality. You still care about what you want. You still make requests. You still take action toward meaningful aims. But you stop telling life that only one shape will count as support. Above the snow line, growth uses the shape available to it. The flower stays close to the ground because that is where warmth can be held. It does not imitate the tall growth of another place. Its form is not lesser. It is intelligent. Your next good outcome may also look different from the one you first imagined. It may be quieter. It may ask more honesty from you. It may remove something before adding something. It may begin with simplification. It may ask you to choose stability over excitement. It may arrive through a person you did not think to ask. It may develop slowly enough that you recognize your own growth as part of it. The desire to control the form often comes from a wish to feel safe. If you can decide exactly how support must come, you may feel more prepared. If you can choose the exact date, source, amount, person, and sequence, you may imagine uncertainty will disappear. But control cannot create the kind of safety it promises. It keeps the body responsible for too many moving parts. It asks you to supervise other people's choices, future conditions, and events beyond your reach. No wonder you feel tired. You have been carrying questions as if they were tasks. You have been treating the unknown as unfinished work. Tonight, set down that labor. A question is not always an assignment. Some questions are answered by action. Some are answered by conversation. Some are answered by time. Some change before an answer arrives. Some reveal that you were asking from a place that no longer exists. Your role is not to force every question into resolution before sleep. Your role is to remain close to what is true now. The flower cannot hurry the thaw. It can remain ready for it. You cannot force every meeting, answer, opportunity, or inner change. You can become ready to participate when movement becomes possible. Readiness may look like practical preparation. It may look like emotional honesty. It may look like clearing space in your schedule. It may look like releasing one commitment that keeps every hour full of strain. It may look like learning how to accept help without immediately repaying. It may look like believing that support can be mutual rather than costly. This is the inner opening you are cultivating, not blind trust, not a demand, a living readiness. Let the image become clearer now. The stone is dark where the snow has begun to pull away. Water moves in a thin line through a narrow seam. The air is still cold enough to sharpen every breath. Nothing about the place appears soft from a distance. Then color appears close to the ground. One bloom, small against the height, complete within its own scale. It does not need to cover the mountain to prove that opening is possible. It does not need a field of witnesses. It does not ask whether the lower valleys would consider its growth impressive. It opens because the time has come for the life within it to meet the conditions around it. This is the meeting you are practicing inside yourself. The life within you meets the conditions around you with greater awareness. You do not abandon yourself to circumstances. You do not deny circumstances either. You listen for the place where movement is both possible and wise. You stop interpreting every delay as a personal rejection. You stop using every disappointment as evidence against your future. You stop demanding that one closed path define the whole landscape. You become willing to recognize the narrow seam where water is already moving. That seam may be a new thought you no longer dismiss. It may be a person whose consistency is becoming clear. It may be a skill that makes another option available. It may be a truth you are finally prepared to act upon. It may be a quiet desire returning after a long period of survival. Do not rush to turn it into a grand sign. Let it be what it is. A small change in conditions. A real opening. A beginning worthy of care. The mind that expects disappointment may try to reduce it immediately. It may say, "This is too small." It may say, "It will not last." It may say, "Do not trust it." You can respond without force. Small does not mean meaningless. New does not mean false. Caution can remain while possibility is observed. You are not required to believe more than the evidence supports. You are only choosing not to believe less. This distinction is powerful. You do not exaggerate the good. You stop erasing it. You let a kind word be a kind word. You let progress count as progress. You let one kept promise become part of the record. You let one calm day exist without waiting for punishment. You let one helpful result challenge the rule that everything must be hard. The old mind may have kept detailed records of pain. Now you are widening the record. not to create an artificial story, to include what was previously ignored. There were moments when someone helped. There were decisions that protected you. There were instincts that guided you accurately. There were mornings when the answer became clearer after rest. There were opportunities you could recognize only because an older path ended. There were times when you did not know what to do and still found the next step. These memories belong to you too. They are not proof that every future event will be favorable. They are proof that fear is not the only reliable narrator. Let that realization settle without pressure. You do not have to feel transformed. A new expectation begins as a quiet alternative. The old voice says, "Prepare for disappointment." The alternative says, "Prepare to meet what is true." The old voice says, "Nothing is moving." The alternative says, "Not all movement is visible." The old voice says, "You are alone." The alternative says, "Support may need to be sought, recognized, and received." The old voice says, "The delay means no." The alternative says, "The meaning is not yet clear." The old voice says, "Do not hope." The alternative says, "Hope can remain grounded." This is not a battle between two parts of you. It is an education. The frightened part is learning that it does not have to make every interpretation. The wiser part is learning to speak sooner. The body is learning that uncertainty can be met without constant tension. The heart is learning that desire can remain alive without becoming desperate. You are becoming more fluent in the second language. You read timing not as proof that every wish will be fulfilled, but as a reminder that conditions matter, sequences matter, readiness matters, and the visible moment is not always the complete one. The flower could not open in the deepest freeze. That was not failure. It could not remain closed when the true thaw arrived. That would have denied the moment available to it. The wisdom is in both movements. Rest when the ground is closed. Open when the ground becomes possible. You may need permission from no one to live by this wisdom. You can stop pushing at what is firmly closed. You can stop begging unavailable people to become the source of your peace. You can stop spending your strength on conditions that repeatedly prove unsafe. This is not giving up on good. It is saving your life for the place where good can grow. The mountain contains many surfaces. Not every surface holds the bloom. The flower does not take this personally. It roots where the narrow conditions support life. You can choose your conditions with greater care. You can place your effort where there is response. You can invest in relationships where honesty is mutual. You can build habits that return strength rather than consume it. You can seek environments where your work has a fair chance to be recognized. You can ask for qualified assistance when the weight exceeds what you should carry alone. You are not required to bloom on every stone. You are not required to prove your worth by surviving every climate. There is courage in endurance. There is also courage in relocation, refusal, adjustment, and rest. Expecting support includes becoming willing to move towards sources that can truly offer it. It includes accepting that one person may not have what you need. It includes releasing the belief that help only counts when it comes from the place that once withheld it. The flower receives light from where light reaches. It does not demand that the shadow become the sun. You can release the endless effort to gain recognition from what remains unable or unwilling to see you. Your value does not increase when the unavailable finally responds. Your life does not need to remain frozen beside a source that repeatedly offers no warmth. Turn toward what is real. Turn toward what is consistent. Turn toward the person who keeps the appointment. Turn toward the practice that steadies your body. Turn toward the work that builds skill. Turn toward the information that clarifies your choice. Turn toward your own honest awareness. This turning is not dramatic. It is often the quiet movement that changes everything after time has passed. The flower follows light in the only way available to it. You can follow truth. Truth may tell you to stay and continue. Truth may tell you to pause. Truth may tell you to ask again. Truth may tell you the answer has already been given through repeated behavior. Truth does not always feel comforting, but it creates the conditions for genuine support. False hope keeps you tied to what does not respond. Grounded hope keeps you available to what can. This is why your new expectation must remain connected to discernment. You are not training the mind to say yes to everything. You are training it to stop saying no to everything before reality has spoken. You are giving each moment the dignity of being observed. You are giving each offer the chance to prove its quality. You are giving yourself permission to respond according to current truth rather than inherited fear. Now let the central sentence of this practice take its place. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. Do not force belief around it. Let the words remain near the surface, as small and complete as one flower against stone. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. You are not naming a deadline. You are not naming a single source. You are not commanding life to obey. You are preparing to recognize what is useful, respectful, and real. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. The sentence does not make you passive. It makes you available. Available to ask. Available to hear. Available to act. Available to pause. Available to accept help without surrendering your judgment. Available to recognize when the conditions have shifted enough for a new response. Resistance may still rise. It may say that support always arrives late. It may say that asking is dangerous. It may say that accepting help creates debt. It may say that relying on yourself is the only safe way. Do not argue with it harshly. Offer it a smaller sentence. I am willing to recognize one honest support. This may feel more believable. One honest support, one useful fact, one steady person, one wise choice, one moment of rest that helps the body return, one resource that makes the next step easier, one clear boundary that protects what is opening. The mind does not need to leap from isolation to complete trust. It can learn through one honest support at a time. You may already have one. It may be a person. It may be a skill. It may be a routine. It may be a place where you can think clearly. It may be the part of you that continues to seek truth even after discouragement. Do not overlook inner support because it comes from within. Your ability to pause is support. Your ability to learn is support. Your ability to leave what harms you is support. Your ability to ask a better question is support. Your ability to begin again is support. These capacities are not the entire answer, but they are part of the conditions from which better outcomes become possible. The alpine bloom does not open through wish alone. It opens because inner readiness and outer conditions meet. Your future also includes both. You tend what belongs to you. You remain receptive to what arrives from beyond you. You do not confuse one with the other. You do not blame yourself for every condition you cannot change. You do not surrender the choices that remain yours. This balanced posture is strong. It can hold hope without fantasy. It can hold caution without closure. It can hold desire without desperation. It can hold timing without passivity. The day may still contain unresolved questions tomorrow. The outer landscape may still look familiar, but something inside the way you meet it is becoming different. You are less willing to name the whole future from one cold hour. You are more willing to look for the narrow place where movement is real. You are less willing to spend your strength forcing what remains closed. You are more willing to prepare for what can open. This is how expectancy becomes steady, not through excitement, through repeated return. You return to the bloom. You return to sufficient conditions. You return to the next wise movement. You return to the truth that visible stillness does not always mean absence of preparation. And as you return, the old rule begins to lose its authority. The rule that says good must be doubted. The rule that says support must be earned through exhaustion. The rule that says uncertainty always ends in pain. The rule that says you must grip the future to remain safe. These rules may not disappear tonight. They do not need to. One bloom does not remove the mountain. It changes what the mountain can mean. Your new sentence does not erase your history. It changes what your history is permitted to predict. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. Let the words remain open. Let the timing remain undefined. Let support prove itself through truth. Let your boundaries remain wise. Let your next action remain practical. Let this one inner opening be enough. The ice does not release through force. The flower does not open through fear. The meeting occurs when what has been preparing within finds the first honest warmth it can trust. You are preparing for that meeting now. Openness does not mean standing still while life decides everything for you. It does not mean waiting beside a closed door until exhaustion becomes proof of devotion. It does not mean remaining in a harmful place because you hope patience will eventually transform what repeated evidence has already made clear. Openness in practice is active. It listens, it evaluates, it moves when movement is wise. It rests when rest protects clarity. It reaches outward when support is needed. It closes what must be closed so that your strength is not continually spent where nothing healthy can take root. The flower above the snow line is open, but it is not careless. Its softness does not make it unaware of the mountain. Its petals do not erase the cold. Its opening is possible because every part of its small form has learned to respond accurately to the conditions around it. This is the kind of openness you are creating. You are not becoming available to everything. You are becoming available to what is true, supportive, respectful, and well-timed. There is a difference. You can welcome help and still ask whether it is trustworthy. You can welcome opportunity and still read the details. You can welcome closeness and still protect your dignity. You can welcome change and still move at a pace your body can honestly sustain. You can welcome hope and still seek qualified support when the weight of life becomes too heavy to manage alone. Readiness does not cancel wisdom. It gives wisdom room to act without being drowned by fear. The old pattern may have confused accepting support with surrender. It may have believed that accepting help meant losing control. It may have believed that needing another person meant becoming weak. It may have believed that if someone gave something, an invisible debt was created immediately. These beliefs may have formed where generosity had conditions attached. Care may have been used as leverage. Support may have been followed by criticism. Help may have arrived only after you had explained your pain many times. You may have learned that accepting something made it harder to say no later. If so, your hesitation makes sense. The body remembers the cost of support that was not truly support. You are not required to call every offer kind. You are not required to open because someone insists they have good intentions. You are not required to ignore discomfort in order to appear grateful. Real support respects your right to choose. Real support does not demand immediate access to every part of you. Real support does not punish your questions. Real support does not require you to become smaller so another person can feel powerful. This understanding allows you to remain open without abandoning yourself. You can accept support in stages. You can say, "Let me think." You can say, "I need more information." You can say, "This part would help, but that part does not work for me." You can say, "Thank you," and still maintain a boundary. You can say no without denying that other forms of assistance may exist. The ability to choose is part of readiness. You are not an empty space waiting to be filled by whatever arrives. You are a living participant. Your values matter. Your safety matters. Your pace matters. Your real circumstances matter. The flower does not open in response to one brief touch of warmth and then ignore every other condition. It responds to a pattern that has become sufficient. You can also look for patterns. Does the person follow through? Does the opportunity remain clear when you ask questions? Does the plan respect your limits? Does your body become steadier as you gather facts? Or does confusion continue to increase? Does the support help you become more capable, or does it make you feel dependent on someone else's approval? You do not need to treat one feeling as a final answer, but you can include your feelings among the information you consider. Your body may recognize pressure before the mind explains it. Your body may also react to healthy newness because healthy newness is unfamiliar. This is why patience matters. You do not have to decide everything in one instant. You can observe, you can test, you can ask, you can step closer or farther away according to what becomes clear. Readiness is not urgency. A true opening does not always demand panic. There may be deadlines in practical matters, and they should be respected. Yet even when time is limited, you can return to one steady question. What choice protects my well-being and honors the facts available now? This question can bring you back from the old hunger for certainty. It can help you choose without pretending you know everything. It can help you separate a meaningful opportunity from the fear of missing out. It can help you recognize when you are saying yes because you are aligned with the choice, and when you are saying yes because you are afraid another chance will never come. Scarcity can imitate readiness. It says, take whatever is offered because nothing else will appear. Grounded openness says, I will consider what is here without treating it as my final chance to be supported. This is an important shift. You no longer have to make every decision under the pressure of never again. You do not have to believe this is the last person who could understand you. You do not have to believe this is the only path through which your work could matter. You do not have to believe this is the final moment in which your life could change direction. A missed opportunity may deserve disappointment. A closed option may require adjustment. But your future is not reduced to one doorway. The mountain is larger than one surface. The thaw does not reach every place in the same hour. A bloom that cannot open in one seam may remain held until another condition becomes possible. You do not need to chase every opening. Some openings are not yours. Some offers arrive at the wrong cost. Some paths look promising only because you are tired of standing where you are. Your willingness to expect good does not remove your right to decline what is not good for you. In fact, expecting healthier support may strengthen your ability to say no. When you believe nothing better can exist, you may cling to what is barely available. When you leave room for something more respectful, you become less willing to trade your peace for temporary relief. This is not entitlement. It is discernment shaped by self-respect. You can be grateful for what is useful without pretending it is enough. You can appreciate someone's effort without granting them unlimited access. You can recognize the value of a temporary solution while continuing to build something more stable. You can accept a step without calling it the destination. Grounded openness is flexible. It lets each thing be what it is. A conversation can be helpful without becoming a promise. A person can be kind without becoming responsible for saving you. An idea can be useful without becoming the only answer. A moment of encouragement can strengthen you without proving that every concern has disappeared. The mind that grips wants to turn one positive sign into a complete guarantee. Then, when reality remains complex, it feels betrayed. You are learning another way. You let the good be real without demanding that it become everything. You let one bloom be one bloom. Its existence matters. Its existence does not mean winter has vanished from every slope. This protects your hope from becoming fragile. Hope becomes fragile when it depends on exaggeration. Grounded hope can survive complexity. It can say, "Something supportive has begun, and I will continue to observe." It can say, "This result helped, and more work remains." It can say, "I am encouraged, and I will keep my boundaries clear." It can say, "I feel stronger, and I will still ask for assistance where I need it." You do not have to choose between inspiration and responsibility. You can carry both. You may have once believed that good things should feel effort, less from the beginning. Then when a new path required learning, patience, or adjustment, you wondered whether it was wrong. But support does not always remove effort. Sometimes support makes effort more possible. A wise teacher does not complete the learning for you. A useful resource does not make every choice automatically. A healthy relationship does not remove the need for communication. A practical opportunity may still require preparation. The difference is that your effort is no longer spent entirely against resistance. There is response. There is movement. There is enough warmth to work with. You are no longer striking the same frozen surface and calling your exhaustion commitment. You are placing your strength where something can answer. This may require grieving the places that never answered. Grief is part of openness because the hands cannot remain open while they are still gripping what repeatedly caused pain. You do not have to release everything at once. Some grief loosens slowly. Some hopes change shape before they can be set down. Some attachments remain because they once represented more than a person or outcome. They represented belonging, recognition, safety, or the life you thought you should have had. Be patient with this. You are not foolish for having wanted what you wanted. You are not weak because a closed path still matters to you. You can honor the desire beneath the attachment. You may have wanted to be chosen. You may have wanted stability. You may have wanted a peaceful home. You may have wanted your effort to be seen. You may have wanted one person to finally offer the care you kept giving. The form may have become unavailable, but the deeper need still deserves respect. You can carry the need forward without carrying the exact source. This is one of the quietest forms of freedom. You say, I still honor my desire for support, but I release the demand that it must come from the place that withheld it. You say, I still honor my need for recognition, but I will not remain where disrespect is the repeated pattern. You say, I still honor my wish for stability, and I am willing to build it through practical choices rather than promises without evidence. You say, I still honor my capacity for love, and I will not confuse love with the erasure of my boundaries. The flower does not ask the unmoving ice to become its source forever. It responds to the water that is actually available. You can turn toward what responds. You can stop measuring your worth by what remains closed. You can stop trying to earn warmth from a place that has shown you only cold. The good you expect does not have to be a reward from the past. It can be a new relationship with the present. This relationship begins in the way you speak to yourself. You cannot always prevent the first fearful thought, but you can choose whether it becomes the atmosphere of the whole day. You can hear, no one will come, and answer, I can seek support wisely. You can hear, nothing will change, and answer, I can take one step that changes my position. You can hear, this always happens, and answer, I will respond to what is happening now. You can hear, it is too late, and answer, I will find out what remains possible. You can hear, I must force this, and answer, I can work without gripping. These responses are not decorations. They return you to agency. They remind you that expecting support includes becoming a source of steadiness for yourself. This does not mean doing everything alone. Self-support is not isolation. It is the inner commitment that says you will not abandon yourself while you seek help from others. You will remain present during the decision. You will listen to your limits. You will ask what you need to ask. You will not silence your truth in order to keep temporary approval. You will not call harm a lesson you must continue enduring. You will let external support meet an inner foundation. This makes accepting support safer. You are not handing your whole life to what arrives. You are allowing what is useful to join you. The flower receives light, but the light does not become its identity. It receives water, but the water does not command its form. It draws from the conditions around it while remaining fully itself. You can accept support without disappearing. You can be helped without being owned. You can learn without becoming a copy. You can be loved without surrendering your voice. You can cooperate without giving away the right to reconsider. These truths may need repetition because the old pattern was repeated for years. Let repetition become kindness rather than pressure. You are allowed to receive without disappearing. You can accept support without disappearing. You can remain yourself while accepting support. The sentence may touch a place that has been waiting, a place that wants care but fears the cost. a place that wants companionship but fears losing freedom, a place that wants support but fears being judged for needing it. Speak to that place with tenderness. It does not need to open completely tonight. It only needs to understand that you will remain beside it. You will not force it toward anyone. You will not shame it for moving slowly. You will not use spiritual language to override its concern. You will gather evidence. You will honor reality. You will make room for a different experience to prove itself over time. This is how the inner climate changes, not through one command, through trustworthy companionship with yourself. The mind begins to recognize that openness no longer means exposure without protection. The body begins to recognize that accepting support no longer means becoming indebted. The heart begins to recognize that hope no longer means losing discernment. Each recognition releases a lie till more ice. There is no need to strike at what remains. Warmth works differently from force. It stays. It reaches gradually. It changes the condition from within the condition. You are creating that steady warmth through the way you return to yourself. You return after doubt. You return after disappointment. You return after saying yes too quickly. You return after remaining too long. You return after fear convinces you that one mistake has ruined everything. You return because your path does not require perfection. It requires relationship. A relationship with your own truth. A relationship with action. A relationship with timing. A relationship with support that does not place your worth in someone else's hands. Your capacity expands through ordinary evidence. One safe moment received, one supportive action accepted, one boundary honored, one worry set down until there is something real to do. The flower does not take all the mountain's warmth. It receives what reaches its place. That is enough for one opening. You can let enough be enough. Not as a command to accept less than you need, as permission to recognize the value of what is truly present. Enough clarity for the next choice. Enough courage for one conversation. Enough support for today's step. Enough rest to meet the morning. Enough openness to stop calling the future closed. The mind often postpones peace until everything is complete. But completion is rarely available all at once. There will be another task, another unknown, another season changing at its own pace. If peace must wait for total resolution, peace may be postponed through the whole life. You are learning to welcome moments of steadiness inside an unfinished story. The story can remain unfinished. You can still breathe. The answer can remain unknown. You can still rest. The desire can remain alive. You can still return to the life already here. This is not giving up on what matters. It is refusing to sacrifice every present moment to one future result. Your life is happening while you wait. Your relationships are happening. Your body is carrying you. Your mind is learning. Your choices are building conditions. Do not treat this part as empty. The hidden season was never empty. The roots were not wasting time. The snow was not proof of death. The unseen preparation belonged to the bloom. What you practice now belongs to what comes next. Your rest belongs. Your boundary belongs. Your honest request belongs. Your willingness to stop chasing belongs. Your decision to seek professional guidance where needed belongs. Your effort to build skill belongs. Your refusal to call yourself hopeless belongs. These actions do not guarantee one result. They create a stronger way of meeting many results. You become less breakable by uncertainty because you are no longer asking certain tie to carry your entire sense of safety. You become less dependent on one person's response because you are willing to widen the sources of support. You become less frightened by timing because delay no longer automatically means personal rejection. This is the deeper shift. You are not merely expecting pleasant events. You are expecting that you can meet life with more support, more clarity, and more room than fear first admits. A good outcome may come through circumstances. It may come through your response. Often it comes through both. The outer condition changes. You are prepared to recognize it. A person offers help. You are prepared to assess and accept it. A truth becomes clear. You are prepared to act on it. A path closes. You are prepared to grieve and turn. A narrow seam opens. You are prepared to place your strength there. This is readiness, not constant confidence, not endless patience, a living ability to respond. Let your shoulders release a little around this understanding. You do not have to become ready for the whole future. You are ready enough for the next honest moment. You do not have to trust everyone. You can recognize one trustworthy act. You do not have to expect perfection. You can leave room for constructive movement. You do not have to accept everything. You can welcome what supports life. If this practice is supporting you, leave with one blessing you are becoming willing to welcome. Let that be the only outward action asked of you here. Then return inward. Return to the small bloom. Return to the stone that has held warmth long enough. Return to the water moving through the seam. Return to the understanding that an opening can be both tender and wise. Let this understanding remain quiet and close to you. The words do not need to become louder. They are already reaching the place that has been held beneath the old cold. One line may feel more believable than the others. Let that line remain. You do not need to hold all of them. The flower does not carry the entire sky. It receives one clear light. You can hold one clear sentence. You can let it warm one narrow place. You can let that place become sufficient for tonight. You do not have to search for a dramatic change inside yourself. A quieter change is already enough. The mind that once rejected every hopeful thought may now let one remain for a few seconds longer. The body that once tightened immediately may now recognize the tightening before it becomes the whole evening. The part of you that once assumed the worst may now admit that more than one outcome is possible. These are meaningful movements. They may not announce themselves. They may not feel powerful. They may not create immediate certainty, but they change the conditions within you. One small release makes another release more possible. One honest thought creates space for another. One moment of not chasing the answer gives the body evidence that it can survive an unfinished hour. The flower above the snow line does not measure its opening against the size of the mountain. It does not become discouraged because the stone remains larger than the bloom. Its work is not to transform everything around it. Its work is to answer the opening that has become available. You can release the demand to transform your whole life tonight. You can answer the opening that is here. The opening may be rest. It may be the willingness to stop checking. It may be the decision to let tomorrow contain tomorrow's information. It may be the realization that there is nothing more useful to do in this hour. It may be the understanding that continued thought is not the same as continued action. When there is something practical to do, you can do it at the proper time. When there is nothing useful to do, you are allowed to stop rehearsing. The mind may resist this boundary. It may say that one more review will reveal something, one more imagined conversation, one more examination of what was said, one more attempt to predict the response. Yet you have walked around the same thoughts enough. You know their edges. You know where they lead. They do not lead to new information. They lead back to themselves. You can step away without solving them. You can leave the thought unfinished. You can let the question remain outside your resting body. The question will still exist when practical attention is available again. You do not need to hold it through sleep to prove that it matters. You do not need to remain tense to prove that you are responsible. You do not need to sacrifice your night to demonstrate your desire for a good result. Rest does not weaken your intention. Rest may strengthen the part of you that will respond. The mountain does not remain in full light through every hour. Darkness passes over the stone. The hidden roots do not treat the night as a failure of growth. They remain where they are. They enter the pause. They do not demand visible progress while the world is quiet. You can let this hour be quiet. You can stop asking it to produce an answer. You can stop asking your body to stay alert for a future event. You can stop asking the mind to stand guard at every possible doorway. The guard has worked enough. It can sit down. It can keep its wisdom without keeping its posture of alarm. You are not leaving yourself unprotected. You are choosing another form of protection. Sleep protects clarity. Rest protects judgment. A calmer body protects your ability to recognize what is true. You may have thought that vigilance was the only way to remain safe. Tonight, safety can also include restoration. It can include unclenching. It can include the knowledge that you will act when action becomes necessary. You can trust yourself to return. You can trust yourself to ask. You can trust yourself to respond to facts that appear. You do not have to respond to facts that have not appeared. This distinction can become a resting place. What is real can be met. What is imagined does not require an immediate answer. The mind may offer another possibility of loss. You can say, that has not happened. The mind may offer another prediction of rejection. You can say, that has not been confirmed. The mind may insist that silence contains a hidden meaning. You can say, silence is all I know right now. This is not denial, it is accuracy. Accuracy brings you back from the future. It returns you to the narrow place where your actual life is happening. Here, you can feel what supports you. The surface beneath you. The air entering and leaving. The weight of the body no longer needing to carry itself through the day. The eyes no longer needing to gather more evidence. The hands no longer needing to solve. You have done enough for this hour. Enough does not mean everything is finished. It means this portion is complete. The flower does not demand the whole season from one day of warmth. It receives what the day contains. You can accept the completion of this day. Some things went well. Some things remained uncertain. Some things may need repair. Some things may require another attempt. The day does not need to become perfect before you can release it. An imperfect day can still end. An unresolved day can still end. A disappointing day can still end. The ending of the day is not a judgment. It is a boundary. You can place the unfinished work on the other side of that boundary. You can say, not now. You can say, tomorrow, with clearer eyes. You can say, I have reached the edge of what thought can usefully do. This is self-support. It is not dramatic. It is the quiet refusal to exhaust yourself beyond the point of usefulness. The old pattern may call this laziness, but exhaustion is not proof of commitment. Constant strain is not proof of love. Continuous worry is not proof of responsibility. Your devotion to what matters can include sleep. Your desire for improvement can include stillness. Your hope for a good outcome can include a night in which you do not supervise the future. Let that truth become easier to accept. You are not responsible for keeping the whole mountain awake. You are one living presence within it. You can rest close to the ground. You can conserve what will be needed later. You can trust that not every movement requires your awareness. The ice can loosen while you sleep. Water can find its seam. Conditions can change without being watched. Other people can think, choose, prepare, and respond without your mind standing over the process. Life does not pause because you close your eyes. You are permitted to leave, some movement unseen. This may be one of the deepest forms of trust available tonight. Not the trust that promises a particular event. The trust that says you do not have to witness every stage for change to be real. You have lived this truth already. Your body has repaired small wounds while you slept. Your understanding has reorganized after you stopped forcing an answer. A sentence has become clearer in the morning. A feeling has softened after a period of rest. You did not supervise those changes. You participated by allowing the pause. You can participate in tonight the same way. You can let the mind move from instruction into repetition. The repetition does not need to be believed perfectly. It can pass through like steady warmth over stone. Each line asks for no outcome. Each line creates a posture. Keep only what feels honest. Let the rest move past. I trust the next true step. I welcome clear support. I leave room for good. I honor useful timing. I respond to real evidence. I release imagined endings. I can rest before knowing. I can pause before deciding. I can ask before assuming. I can learn what is true. I can meet the answer. I can survive uncertainty. I can choose with care. I can move when ready. I can wait with wisdom. I can stop chasing. I can stop rehearsing. I can stop predicting. I can return to now. I can receive calm. I can receive rest. I can receive clarity. I can receive help. I can receive truth. I accept steady progress. I accept honest guidance. I accept practical support. I accept a slower pace. I accept this pause. I trust my boundaries. I trust my questions. I trust my discernment. I trust my next choice. I trust myself to respond. I do not need certainty. I do not need a deadline. I do not need to force. I do not need to grip. I do not need to know tonight. I remain safe in pause. I remain worthy in waiting. I remain whole in uncertainty. I remain open to change. Time 2.0s. I remain available to good. Good can be quiet. Help can be simple. Progress can be small. Change can be hidden. Timing can be wise. One step is enough. One truth is enough. One opening is enough. One breath is enough. This hour is enough. The mind may still move. Let it move more slowly. It may reach toward tomorrow. Bring it back without irritation. A mind that has practiced worry will not become quiet through criticism. It becomes quieter when it no longer has to defend its fear. You can understand why it is reaching. You can acknowledge the desire beneath the worry. You want security. You want reassurance. You want to know that your effort has not been wasted. You want to know that support will be there. You want to know that the story will not repeat itself. These wishes are human. You do not need to shame them. You only need to stop demanding that the night answer them. The night can offer rest instead of certainty. Rest is not a lesser answer. It may be the answer the body needs before anything else can become clear. Let the questions remain nearby without entering every part of you. They can wait at the edge. They do not need to lie across the chest. They do not need to sit behind the eyes. They do not need to remain held in the jaw. Your body is not a storage place for every unresolved possibility. You can release the physical position of waiting. The shoulders can move away from the ears. The tongue can rest. The muscles around the eyes can become less responsible. The hands can open. The fingers can stop preparing to hold. The stomach can be permitted to soften, even if only a little. The breath does not need to become deep or perfect. It can be ordinary. An ordinary breath is enough. There is no performance required. No special state has to be reached. Your body already knows how to move towards sleep when it is not being asked to remain on duty. You can reduce the duty now. The forehead has no problem to solve. The eyes have nothing more to search for. The mouth has no explanation to prepare. The neck has no future to carry. The shoulders have no invisible weight to prove they can bear. The arms can become heavier. The hands can become still. The chest can stop guarding the next moment. The back can release its effort against the surface beneath it. The abdomen can loosen around the unknown. The hips can settle. The legs can stop preparing to leave. The feet can stop searching for the next place to stand. You have arrived at this part of the night. You do not need to arrive anywhere else. The body can land where it is. The mind can arrive after it. There is no need to pull the mind downward. Let it circle less widely. Let each circle become smaller. Let each return become easier. The bloom remains close to the stone. It does not rise beyond what supports it. You can remain close to what supports you now. The surface, the darkness, the stillness available in this moment. The knowledge that you have permission to stop. The old urgency may return once more. It may say that stopping is dangerous. You can answer with what is true. Nothing useful is required from me in this moment. If something truly requires action, you can respond when action is possible. If an emergency exists, appropriate help should be sought. But imagined emergencies do not need your body through the whole night. You can distinguish between the two. You are capable of wise response. You are capable of getting help. You are capable of changing a plan. You are capable of meeting information when it arrives. You do not have to remain awake to prove these capacities. They remain part of you during rest. Your strength does not disappear when the muscles soften. Your intelligence does not disappear when thought becomes quieter. Your boundaries do not disappear when sleep comes. You remain yourself. You are simply no longer using every part of yourself at once. This is restoration. The flower closes nothing essential by resting within darkness. Its life remains present. Its readiness remains present. Its ability to answer warmth remains present. Your readiness also remains. You do not lose an opportunity by giving the body what it needs. What is truly useful can be met by a more restored version of you. Let this become a new expectation. Rest may help me meet good more clearly. Rest may help me recognize support. Rest may help me choose wisely. Rest may help me separate fear from fact. Rest may help me return to my own voice. These statements do not need to become promises. They are reasonable possibilities. You can leave room for them. The mind has spent enough time leaving room for painful possibilities. It can now share some of that space, not all of it. No force, just enough. Enough room for clarity. Enough room for assistance. Enough room for a constructive turn. Enough room for your own wiser response. Enough room for something to go better than expected. The body can take this in without excitement. It can accept it as permission. Permission to stop bracing against every possible future. Permission to meet one future when it becomes present. You only ever meet life in the present. Even tomorrow will arrive as a present moment. You will not meet the whole future at once. You will meet a message, a conversation, a choice, a morning, a step. This is manageable in a way the imagined future is not. The imagined future arrives all at once and demands complete preparation. Real life arrives in moments. You can meet moments. You have met them before. You are meeting this one now. A quiet room, a resting body, an unfinished life that does not need to be finished tonight. A small opening inside an old expectation. That is enough. Let the words fall away when they are no longer needed. You do not need to remember them. The practice can continue without conscious effort. The body has heard enough. The mind has received the direction. You are no longer asking the future to show itself before you sleep. You are giving yourself back to the present. The stone holds what warmth remains. The water moves where it can. The bloom rests within the conditions that support it. No part of the mountain is being hurried. No part of you needs to be hurried. You are not late for your own life. You are not behind the timing of every good possibility. You are not required to compare your opening with anyone else's season. Your conditions are your conditions. Your next wise step is your own. Your rest is part of that wisdom. Let the whole body become less interested in staying upright inside the mind. Let it arrive fully where it has already been placed. The head can become heavier. The shoulders can descend. The arms can settle. The hands can remain open. The back can be carried. The hips can be carried. The legs can be carried. The feet can be carried. You do not have to carry yourself through this moment. The surface beneath you is already doing its work. Accept that simple support. No debt, no demand, no explanation. Let yourself be held by what is actually holding you. Let the next breath arrive without being summoned. Let it leave without being followed. Another can come, and another. The body knows the sequence. You do not need to control it. You can become quieter than the question. You can become slower than the prediction. You can become less available to the old rehearsal. The night has space for what you do not know. You do not have to contain it all. Set it outside the body. Set it outside the breath. Let it remain part of life rather than part of your muscles. You have reached the place where effort can end for now. The hidden roots do not need instruction. The bloom does not need supervision. The thaw does not need your attention. You can sleep while conditions continue becoming what they will become. You can sleep without losing your readiness. You can sleep without closing yourself to good. You can sleep without giving up your wise action. You can sleep because action has an hour, and this hour belongs to restoration. Stay here, close to the support beneath you, close to the quiet within reach, close to the one honest possibility that you do not have to know everything tonight. Your work is complete for this moment. Your watch is complete. Your searching is complete. Your rehearsing is complete. You can arrive. You can land. You can rest. The night does not ask you to keep explaining yourself. It does not ask for another plan, another prediction, or another attempt to decide what every delay means. The work of this hour is becoming smaller. You have already looked at the old expectation. You have respected where it came from. You have separated wisdom from fear. You have remembered that support can be practical, gradual, and real. Nothing more needs to be proven now. The bloom does not remain open to demonstrate its worth. It opens because opening belongs to the conditions of that moment. Then the light changes, the temperature falls, and the mountain becomes quiet again. The flower does not call the quiet a reversal. It remains part of the same living rhythm. Opening, resting, opening, drawing close. Responding again when response is wise. You are also permitted to move in rhythms. You do not have to remain hopeful at the same intensity through every hour. You do not have to maintain a perfect state in order to deserve a constructive outcome. You do not have to wake tomorrow feeling exactly as you feel now. A difficult thought may return. An old doubt may speak. The body may tighten around a familiar uncertainty. None of this cancels what you have practiced. The return of an old reaction is not the failure of a new direction. It is another moment in which you can choose how much authority the reaction receives. You can hear it. You can understand it. You can check the facts. You can take the action that belongs to you. You can refuse to build an entire future from one frightened thought. The bloom does not become less real when the wind passes over it. Your openness does not become less real when fear passes through you. Fear can pass. Doubt can pass. A difficult hour can pass. You remain capable of returning. This is the expectation that can become trustworthy, not the expectation that you will never struggle again, but the expectation that you can return to yourself. You can return to clarity after confusion. You can return to a boundary after overextending. You can return to practical action after becoming overwhelmed. You can return to rest after the mind begins chasing. You can return to the possibility that life contains more than the outcome fear has selected. Every return remembers something. The body remembers that it has softened before. The mind remembers that one prediction was not accurate. The heart remembers that support has taken more than one form. Your choices remember the strength created by honesty. Tonight, walking is no longer required. The path can remain beneath you while you sleep. You do not need to hold your place through effort. You do not need to repeat every lesson until morning. You can let the practice settle below conscious thought, like warmth held inside stone and water continuing through a narrow seam. Tomorrow may call for action. It may call for a conversation, research, planning, assistance, or a clear decision. You can meet those needs in their proper time. You do not need to perform tomorrow's responsibility tonight. Let this hour belong to rest, fully, without apology, without treating restoration as something you must earn. Your body is not a machine that has failed because it requires sleep. Your mind is not weak because it needs periods without decision. Your heart is not careless because it cannot carry every concern continuously. Life above the snow line survives through wise conservation. Energy is not wasted proving that strength exists. Strength is protected until it can answer a real need. You can protect your strength now, not through tension, through release. Release does not mean the concern was meaningless. It means concern has reached the limit of what it can usefully do tonight. Release does not mean you no longer care. It means care is no longer required to take the form of physical strain. Release does not mean a guaranteed outcome. It means you will not punish your body while the outcome remains unknown. You can care without carrying. You can hope without gripping. You can wait without watching. You can rest without closing. The flower is not closed to the future while darkness surrounds it. It is only resting its opening for the night. Your possibilities do not disappear when your attention leaves them. Your readiness does not disappear when thought becomes quiet. Your practical plans do not disappear when the hands become still. You remain connected to your life without supervising every part of it. Let the unanswered message remain unanswered. Let the pending result remain pending. Let the uncertain relationship remain uncertain until clearer information exists. Let the financial question be met through real steps when the proper hour comes. Let any health concern be supported through appropriate care and qualified guidance rather than endless private prediction. You can rest now and act wisely later. Both belong. The mountain does not ask the bloom to become the water, the light, and the stone. Each condition has its own part. You also have a part. Your part is not everything. This can be a relief. You do not control every response. You do not create every circumstance. You do not carry responsibility for every person's willingness, honesty, or capacity. Your part is to remain in relationship with truth, to ask when asking is needed, to choose when choice becomes clear, to protect what deserves protection, to accept support that proves respectful, and to seek skilled help when personal effort is not enough. Other people's choices can return to them. Unfinished conditions can return to time. Questions requiring facts can return to the moment when facts become available. Tasks requiring daylight can return to daylight. You do not have to bring them into sleep. Sleep is where you stop forcing clarity. There may be a natural reordering in the pause. The brain continues processing. The body continues regulating. Emotion can lose some of its immediate intensity. A problem that appeared enormous at night may regain proportion in the morning. You can permit this ordinary intelligence to work. The head can become heavier. The shoulders can descend. The hands can remain open. The chest can stop preparing for news. The abdomen can release tomorrow. The legs can become still. The feet can remain at rest. There is no ideal rhythm to achieve. There is only the breath already occurring. A small rise, a small fall. No message hidden inside it. No outcome dependent upon it. The breath is not trying to command anything. It is sustaining this moment. That is enough. Let the expectation of good become just as natural. Not an order sent toward the future. Not a demand repeated through strain. A quiet orientation. A willingness to meet support. A willingness to recognize a useful turn. A willingness to let one experience differ from the last. Good may arrive as a solution. Good may arrive as clearer information. Good may arrive as the strength to leave. Good may arrive as a stable person. Good may arrive as the end of an illusion. Good may arrive as rest that prevents a poor choice. Good may arrive as the courage to ask for professional assistance. Good may arrive as gradual improvement built through repeated practical steps. You do not need to know the form tonight. You only need to remain unwilling to declare that no good form exists. That is the opening, small, grounded, sufficient. The bloom does not fill the whole landscape. It changes the evidence within the landscape. Your new expectation does not erase every fear. It changes the evidence within your mind. Fear is no longer alone. Alongside it stands a quieter truth. Something else is possible. Alongside disappointment stands another truth. The story is still moving. Alongside caution stands another truth. Support can be assessed without being rejected in advance. Alongside delay stands another truth. Meaning cannot always be known from the middle. Alongside the hard stone stands the bloom. Nothing must defeat anything else tonight. The cold is real. The opening is real. The history is real. The possibility is real. The question is real. The rest is real. Let reality become wide enough to hold more than fear. You do not have to squeeze life into one conclusion. You can let the unknown remain spacious. You can let tomorrow be unwritten. You can let support arrive through its own honest path. You can let your own wisdom continue developing. If openness feels too large, return to willingness. If willingness feels too large, return to rest. If rest feels difficult, return to the support beneath the body. Begin with what is undeniable. You are here. You have reached the night. Your body has done the work of another day. The next breath is already arriving. The next moment does not require your prediction. Stay with these simple truths. They ask nothing from you. The flower asks nothing from the stone while darkness settles. It remains close. You can remain close to yourself. No chasing, no bargaining, no demand that the future reveal its plan. The mind may become less interested in completing each sentence. Let ideas lose their urgency. Let the inner voice move farther away. There is nothing impolite about no longer listening. The day has finished speaking. The night does not need a reply. The eyes can remain still. The mouth can remain quiet. The shoulders can forget their assignment. The hands can forget what they were trying to hold. The body can arrive together. Arriving is enough. Landing is enough. Being carried is enough. Resting is enough. You do not need one more insight. The remaining words are only a soft path towards silence. You have already planted the expectation, not in the mountain, but within the way you meet it. You will look for truth rather than proof of fear. You will act where action belongs. You will remain open where support becomes trustworthy. You will not force what remains closed. You will not measure your worth by one answer. You will not confuse exhaustion with devotion. These are not rigid promises. They are directions you can return to. The direction matters more than perfect consistency. You are turning toward what responds, toward what steadies, toward what is honest, toward the narrow place where real warmth reaches. No one else needs to see this turning. It does not require an announcement. The bloom opens without explaining itself to the mountain. Your life can change through choices no one applauds. A boundary, a pause, a request, a refusal, an hour of rest, a decision to believe present evidence instead of an old prediction. These quiet movements accumulate. They become conditions. They become readiness. They become the ground from which a favorable turn can be recognized and met. For now, no movement remains. Only the quiet after movement. Only the dark stone holding the day's last warmth. Only the bloom close to its roots. Only the possibility that you can stop. Let stopping be complete. The future does not need your tension. Your hope does not need your tension. Your worth does not need your tension. Support does not become more likely because you remain awake worrying about it. What requires your action can meet your action in its proper hour. What does not belong to your control can remain outside your muscles. The image can remain without effort. Stone, melting snow, a narrow movement of water, one bloom, no prediction, no demand, only timing meeting readiness. You are not asking the whole mountain to change. You are not asking the night to reveal tomorrow. You are remaining available to the next honest opening. That availability can sleep. It does not need to stay alert. It lives deeper than alertness. It lives in your willingness to return. It lives in your practical wisdom. It lives in your growing ability to accept support without disappearing. It lives in the clear boundary that protects what is tender. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. The words can now become quieter. Like the bloom, I welcome well-timed support. Then even these fragments can rest. Nothing to repeat, nothing to hold. The body understands enough. The mind has heard enough. The night can take the remaining distance. You are no longer reading silence as rejection. You are letting silence be silence. You are no longer asking delay to become a verdict. You are letting time remain unfinished. You are no longer requiring one exact outcome to prove that life contains support. You are letting support have more than one path. Your vow can be simple now. I meet true warmth with open roots. Good is finding its way to you. Sleep now. The thaw knows where to begin.